Bushnell, performance is the only thing. Federal Premium Ammunition, surgical precision, terminal results. Savage Arms, better come standard. Gold Tip, start tough, stay true. And these other fine sponsors.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us here at Bushnell's Trigger Effect. This week's episode is going to take place in the province of British Columbia. We're going to be joining our pro staff member Jason Bellow and his wife Sarah.
They're going to be targeting some of the biggest bears in Canada in the coastal mountains, and they're going to be hunting with Devin from Pacific Bear Outfitters. So let's head to beautiful British Columbia and see how Jason and Sarah make out.
Camera in our face all week. You excited about it?
Yep. Already found 2 bears. They're just waiting for us.
Oh yeah? Some gooders?
One looked really good, yeah.
Yeah. Well, here we are. We've made it most of the way through our journey and finally got hooked up with our good friend and owner of Pacific Bear Outfitters, Mr. Devin Jewell. He's met us here in Lillooet and he's taken us out to his camp now. We're going to meet his wife Ashley out there and another good friend of ours, Dave Caldwell. We're down here in southwestern British Columbia and we're chasing some big coastal black bears. I mean, this has been on our schedule for the last 8 months or better, and we couldn't wait to get down here.
Yeah, we're super stoked. It's going to be one heck of a time.
Yeah, so we're down here with Pacific Bear Outfitters, Devin Jewell, good friend of ours, and we can't wait. He's been down here for the last week. He's got a couple bears eyed up for us, and this is great. This isn't bear over bait. We can't hunt them over bait here in BC, so it's going to be some spot and stalk, catch them in some cut blocks, and let's go get them. You're not going to want to miss this.
So it's day 1 right now, and we're out with Devin, and he's just telling us that there's some pretty good bears in the area.
Yeah, I spotted a couple, one brown, one black bear in these cuts across from us, so we're just go up on the opposing side of the valley and glass across, see if we can see them in the cut blocks. And then if we do see them, we come up with a plan for a stalk. So you see the bear's up, he's in that triangle cut, the highest one there, which is good. You see the bear, but the way of the temperatures are today, we have a thermal pushing up the valley like really hard. So we couldn't take the road in because the road comes in from the low side, so the wind would blow right through them. So if we're going to go after them, we have to come in, cut through that block there, and then up through that timber and try and get a shot of them from the high side of the thermal draft.
Okay, so how scared are they of us?
So if they wind us, like a big male, if he winds us, he'll most likely be like out of there quick. So if we can keep the wind, they aren't all that spooky.
Okay.
So when you're hunting bears, it's like wind is like 100% factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were glassing on the other side, and Devin spotted a nice boar. So now we're gonna go up the tree line here and cut through to the other clear cut and see if we can get a good shot on this guy.
Yep. Just gonna head up there and see what happens.
I think he was up in those stumps there. Not very wide.
we're gonna just sneak around this little hill, see if the bear's on the other side, because there's a dip on the other side. He could be in with a creek over there. He was here, and we hiked up here. We don't see him, but that doesn't mean he's not here. Everything's pretty humpy, bumpy, right? So.
Stay tuned for more hunting action with Bushnell's Trigger Effect after this commercial break. Closed captioning is brought to you by Hunting Consultants Plus, more than just a booking agency. Now, let's return to the action with Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Well, it's day 3 right now, and the weather's breaking, so we've had rain for the last 2 days right now, and it's starting to break, so hopefully we can get the bears out because they want to get in the sunshine and start feeding again. So we're going to have another scout out here and see if we can see any more bears. Well, we spotted a couple of bears that are across the valley. There's 2 decent sized ones. They're both the same size, so we're just going to watch them and see if we can tell if they're boars or sows.
Across the valley.
We moved to the other side where we've seen the bears, so we're going to see if we can get up closer to these 2. We were sitting in the logs here seeing if the bears would come out, but we didn't see anything. Just the fog was rolling in down a little bit more, so we're gonna go back to camp now, have some dinner, enjoy some fire, maybe a hot drink.
Maybe. Little lady bear.
Devin was saying that she had slender shoulders.
Yeah, slender shoulders and pointier head, so you can tell it's a female.
Well, we just hiked up this huge hill to see if there's any bears out up here. It's just starting to green up here, so we were just seeing if there was another chance that there could be a bear out here. But I think now we're ready to go back to camp.
Yes.
The Canadian Wild Turkey Federation is proud to present Turkey Talk.
Hi, my name is Dale. I joined the Canadian Wild Turkey Federation to keep our hunting heritage alive, to give back to the youth, and to promote conservation in Canada. I believe the Canadian Wild Turkey Federation will help us accomplish this.
So we saw a bear out in the open. It didn't last too long. The sun's not out, so they're not holding on and eating. It just quickly grazed through and back into the bush. So we're just seeing if we can find one that's gonna hang out a little bit longer so we can get over there and check it out. So this is a road that Devin knows well. He's seen quite a bit of bears up here. It's deactivated, so there's a lot of feed in here, so we're gonna see if there's any bears.
Okay, so we just spotted a bear up at the top of this cut. The wind's kind of coming that way, and he's above us, so we're going to hook this road up, try and get over by those trees, maybe get a better look at him. We didn't get the best look at him, but we're going to get a little closer.
Spotted the boar at the bottom of the road, so we decided to hike up here, and the wind shifted, so he scented us and disappeared into the woods before I could get a nice shot on him. He didn't really give us too much of an opportunity. But we're being optimistic. The sun is out. Bears are coming out to feed. So maybe we'll see another nice boar.
Bushnell's Trigger Effect will return shortly after this commercial break. This segment is brought to you by Westside Stores, your outdoor sports authority. Now, back to Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
So there's a lot of sunshine happening this morning, so we're feeling really good about seeing some bears. We're gonna go again and spot them from the other side where we've been glassing the mountains. So we're gonna get at her and hopefully we can get on a nice bear today. The boys have spotted 3 bears. 2 of them we can't really see because they're still in the trees feeding. The sun is out, but we did spot the other one. It looks like the big boar that we seen the other day in the cut block yesterday. So we're gonna go after him and see if we can close in that distance and hopefully we get a good shot at him.
So we're gonna hike up this ridge and we're gonna see if we can spot that bear. He was milling around up here, so hopefully he's still there. It takes us quite a while to get over from point A to point B. So let's go and see if we can get this guy. So we got him nice and close to a sow, probably about 100 yards. And she's a nice little sow, but we think that there's another boar with her because we've seen 2 bears together. Anyway, she milled over the hill, so we're gonna make a transition and go over to the other cut block to maybe see if we can see the boar.
Lethbridge College proudly presents Conservation Connection.
Hi folks, welcome to this week's edition of Conservation Connection at Lethbridge College. Joining me is Terry Kowalchuk, who's one of the instructors here at the college, and we're going to talk a little bit about blanket management. So Terry, what is blanket management?
Well, it's a management strategy that we use in wildlife to apply across a large geographical region or have one set of rules for how we will harvest a population or manage the change in a population. So it's a pretty simplistic and consistent way of managing a population.
And obviously it's probably due to budgeting constraints, stuff like that, but is there a good time or a bad time? Like when should we use blanket management?
Yeah, there's pros and cons to any type of management strategy we employ. Generally speaking, if we have a situation where there's a consistency in population size or habitat quality, our blanket management strategy does have application. However, if we have variation in population size or habitat, it may not be the best strategy. It does have its advantages in that we don't have to change regulations, we don't have to change harvest rates, but there are some downsides.
And obviously, like you're saying, downsides, and I mean, I can reflect back to when I was a biologist. I know that we used to do a lot of mule deer work, and we used a blanket management strategy and some research that was done. And then we found out that for the mule deer in one area, it was determined to be elevationally dependent for snow impact versus snow intercept by crown cover. Can you maybe give me an example of blanket management where it has worked?
Well, in Manitoba, for example, their deer harvest management strategy is very uniform across the province. And for the most part, if we're talking about the southern part of the province, it is a uniform hunting zone or uniform habitat zone. So it has worked effectively there. And it has worked effectively to conserve a population when their populations have suffered from severe winters. And it provides some degree of consistency for the hunter.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for talking about that topic with us. I think the key thing to understand, people, is that managers do the best they can. There is restrictions, but now let's get back to some more hunting action with Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
For more information on Bushnell's Trigger Effect, visit our website or Facebook. Now, back to the action.
Well, we're changing it up here today. Sarah's been on the rifle for the last 4 days and had an amazing hunt so far. you know, she's been pretty close a few times. And we've got the little ones with us today, so Ava's here helping us look for bears. So far she's spotted some elk. We've got 7 Roosevelts across the valley here, but no bears yet. Anyways, we're swapping it up. Maybe I've got Lady Luck on my side and we can get it done today. So follow along and let's go get a bear. So we've got a bear spotted here. You know, we've been about a half an hour and got one picked up. He's in the same block there was one in last night. The one last night fed right through on Sarah. I mean, it was really quick. He was through there before we got over. So we're gonna shoot over there. We think he's a pretty decent boar, but across the valley is really tough to tell. So we want to close this distance, get in on him, and see if he's a good one, if we can get a shot on this bear. So let's get on over there. All right, so we shot across the valley here. We saw this bear just up in the block that we saw him in last night. So made a quick run over. Let's get up the road and see if we can get on him.
More Bushnell's Trigger Effect after these important messages. This segment is brought to you by King's Camo. See the difference. Now, back to Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
So Devin just went back to get the pickup and come back, and I heard something behind me rustling. Turn, here's a bear climbing a tree right here. Couldn't have been 30 yards from me, so.
Well, that was some excitement. I mean, our plan worked out here. We're still pretty early. You know, it's only a little after 6, but you know, that bear, one of the bears we saw over here did come out. But what do you think?
He's pretty small.
Yeah.
We're gonna not shoot him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's seed stock for years to come for Devin here in his outfit. You know, he's a nice young boar, just not the guy we want here. Gorgeous coat, white chevron on him. I mean, just a beautiful bear, but he needs a couple years to grow yet. So we're gonna let him do that. He can feed out here.
There he is, there he is. Well, holy, that got exciting. You know, we've been sitting here on this bench for over 5 hours here today. Watched a small black bear come in. It was a nice bear, a young boar, but just not the one we're after. And you know, we're looking over the bank here. Just caught a glimpse of a bear moving down the road. And you know, we've had great thermals all day for that situation. And now here in the evening, all us mountain hunters know that once the sun goes down, they switch and downhill. So it was kind of, we had to get on him quick, got down the bank, and made a shot on him. So we're gonna head down and see if we can get our hands on that bear.
Devin's put us on some amazing bears. Sarah's had some opportunities at some good ones, and just, you know, circumstances didn't work out. So I grabbed the rifle here today, and wow, I mean, I couldn't be happier with this guy. Here's a 5.5 foot chocolate, and Devin got us on this amazing bear. Sometimes, you know, the plans don't always work out, but tonight they sure did. We let a little guy go up the hill here, and then this nice chocolate come out for us tonight. And wow, what an amazing time. Come see Devin here at Pacific Bear Outfitters. Come join him and get in on some of these amazing black bears.
Jason had a pretty amazing adventure yesterday. He managed to get a beautiful chocolate black bear, nice boar. So the boys cleaned it out last night, and today is the last day for me. It's a nice sunny warm day, so hopefully that nice boar will come out. We're just looking across right now, seeing if he'll come out and graze a little bit more in that green section, and yeah.
Yeah, once it cools off, I'm sure a few bears will pop out.
Well, that wraps up an amazing week here with Devin Jewell and Pacific Bear Outfitters. We've had a great time and tons of big black bears. I got a gorgeous chocolate, that we didn't even see. I mean, we've been here all week and never did see him until all of a sudden he popped out and it was on. So what a great time.
Yeah, it's been exciting. I've been in a lot of bear action as well too. Just unfortunately the thermals just kept changing and they scented us or they skirted out before we could get there, and also maybe it was a sow, so there was a lot of circumstances, but it's been excellent. I've been having a great time.
Devin's a wealth of knowledge, an amazing guide, runs a great business here, tons of big black bears. So guys, book a trip with Devin Jewell here at Pacific Bear Outfitters, and stay tuned next week for another exciting episode of Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Canadian Wild Turkey Federation is a proud conservation partner of Bushnell's Trigger Effect. Taxidermy services for Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Dean, these bugs are brutal. Oh my God. Don't hike the mountains in a t-shirt.
So Jason got a really nice chocolate boar bear.
Chocolate boar bear?
What do I talk about?
It took too long to get my butt up here.
This has been a Thunder Boys production.